All right. Minecraft time. Oh, we're in. Woo! Got a burp. It's Duolingo threatening me. Gotta figure out a new setup here. Moving the microphone over to my left, just to see how it looks. We got going on over here. Yeah, I can get rid of that. Well, part of it. Get some music. Last time I had my own music. This time I'll experiment with having the in-game music. See if it messes with the YouTube VODs at all. I don't know if I want to do that. Now that I'm looking. Let's take a look real quick. What do we got? Okay, this is what I was going to get rid of. Yes, that's what I was going to do. And fill this hole in. Gate tall grass with a passion. Get rid of most of it. Such a pain. Cool. Boom. Now we're gonna get this one down here. Gonna complete the terraforming. Turn that down a little bit. There. How's it looking? I can probably level this off. Yes, okay. But where does it end? Gotta fill this in. Okay. I'm to connect over here, aren't I? Yes, that's what I'm wanting to do. So we're gonna connect over here. Always trial and error doing these sorts of shapes. Yeah, I like it. Hey, chicken. Cool. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Go over here. Watching my audio levels. Still trying to get everything balanced. Got a noise gate that should be stopping mouse clicks when I'm not talking, but sometimes it seems to cut off some of what I'm saying. Still trying to get it right. So I've got the microphone off to the side now to see if that helps. Hey, hola. Tudo bem? Come on, chicken. Como frango. Yeah, sim, tudo bem. Está bem. Ah, okay, we're good. Estamos bem. Bames? Banes? Banes. Hey, Lucas, maybe you can explain to me. I didn't quite understand the conversation you had on Twitter concerning skin. Maybe you could explain to me? Yes, so you tweeted that you were going to buy a house with your $25 American dollars. And I was curious, someone replied and said something about give me skin, and you said something I didn't quite understand. Got it. I didn't understand. Okay. That's funny. And you basically said the ladies like when you buy them League of Legends skins. Oh. I buy you League of Legends skins if you're dating me. So is she going to date you? Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. So bad at this. Getting so rusty. Okay. Let's see what's... So the game is whatever you want it to be. For me, I want to build a city with some settlements near it. So that's what the game is for me. But that means I have to terraform, as they call it. I have to fix the land to look the way I want it to. Because this area is where there will be a lumber yard. They're going to cut down trees to help build the city. But since it's my world, they will also be planting trees to replace them. This is not the Brazilian Amazon. Can I create NPCs? I can spawn NPCs, and they also found naturally in the game. So I can show you what I have for NPCs. There are villagers that live here and have different jobs. And then they are protected by these golems, the iron golems. And they have different jobs because I've placed different blocks that teach them jobs in the kiosks where they sell. Story there is that they go there to sell their wares, to sell the things that they make. And this is a city that's pretty large actually by medieval standards. It's about the size of what you would expect for a large medieval city. So I'm planting ground outside the city. This is where the lumberyard will be. And this was all, as you can see, pretty uneven ground. There was a lot of pools of water and all different shapes of hills that I didn't want to plant trees on. I wanted it to be flatter ground. Because this is where the lumberyard will be, outside the city. But honestly, I get your question. Cement is better than grass. You're right. But the difference is Minecraft physics are a little bit different. Watch. Yeah, Minecraft physics are a little bit different. So blocks can be in the air. I could put a skyscraper on top of sand if I wanted to. There. Now I'm going to start repairing the ground a little bit, make it all grass. The fact that there is stone here, that means that there was a pretty large hill here that I got rid of. Just removed it entirely. But underneath it is all this stone. So now that I've decided what this is all going to look like, I can remove all this stone and replace it with grass. So I'm playing in creative mode, which is like you just got some Legos and you want to play. But if you're playing in survival mode, then you've got to go find everything. And so in creative mode, I can just make diamonds if I want to. And in survival mode, I would have to find them. Survival mode has difficulties, and that determines how strong the monsters are. That's the main thing. But also, once you get to the difficulty higher than easy, which is normal, you also have to eat or you die. In normal difficulty, there are no monsters and you don't have to eat. But creative mode is therapeutic. It's very relaxing. Just click, 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 click. And the good feelings, the endorphins from finishing a project. And the music is very nice and peaceful. But there are higher difficulties where the monsters are very, very tough. In the hardest difficulty, there are zombies that will break your door down. They will break the door entirely and get inside your house. But at lower difficulties, you just hit them a few times and they die. Okay, and what else? Yeah, let's go ahead and fill this in. Tryhard mode. I was never one for tryhard mode. I've done hardcore mode, which is when you die, the server is gone. But I only do it with a goal. Like, I'm going to play until I find diamond or die. And once I find diamond, the server is done because I've reached my goal. There are other people who try to see how much they can make in hardcore mode, or what kind of things can they build in survival mode with materials that they found themselves. But I'm not so much concerned with that. I'm just concerned with creativity. And in a second, yeah, I'm going to show you some of the things that I've made in creative mode, where it doesn't matter what I do. It comes down to just skill in building. So I did not make this. This is the park that my wife made. Over here is a market square that I made, where they all sell to each other. These are some buildings that I've made. Yes, pretty much I made all of it. This is something I'm working on based off of a picture. This is a building I made for my son. He said he wanted a guild, so I made him a guild building. And they keep spawning iron golems on the ceiling. Okay. A long time. I started terraforming this area about 4 or 5 years ago, and then I took a break and came back to it recently to continue building. But the walls were made about 3 years ago. So this is a statue based off of a picture that I saw of a Minecraft skin where you could be a Roman with a toga. But if you back up, you can kind of see. Kind of looks like a guy wearing a toga. And then the building itself is typical government building that has the Roman building style. So the guy in the statue is just a Roman-looking guy with a toga. But then this is a government building where the parliament meets. Then here's the map of the world so far. Unfortunately, I don't think the map automatically updates, so I'm going to have to, at some point, pull these maps off around the city and update them. That's a city that I built. And there's a little village that I didn't finish. And there's a city that I built inside a castle, or with walls with a castle inside of it. And there's a large house. My wife built this building. And then one of my friends built this house years ago. So it's a work in progress. Most of the building has been done by me. This right here is, yes. This right here, this building was made by someone else on the server who wanted to play with us. I made the realm available to whoever. There are some university students that I know that are in the, basically the geek, the nerd group, and I've let some of them play. I did some measuring, and this is almost a mile from east to west, which in the Middle Ages, medieval Europe, that was a lot. City would be usually a square mile. London was a square mile. This game keeps you on your toes. I don't know if you know that idiom, but it means makes you think. It makes you constantly be aware of what you're doing, because your brain could say you're gonna break, and then place a block. And then if you do it wrong, your brain's still telling you to do the other thing. So then you go like this, break, and then place a block. And then you end up like this. Cool. Get rid of that. Next thing I'm going to do is kind of build where my camp is going to be for the people in charge of deforestation and reforestation to get wood for the city. It's all role-playing. And then I will start planting trees. You can kind of see the shape of where the hills were, based off of the shape of all the stone. It's very relaxing to just sort of listen to the music and play. The way to pass the time while getting to be creative. And then it feels more like other video games when you start playing in survival mode with monsters, because then it's more of a survival game. Like Fallout, something like that, where the focus is also on not dying and on building things that are practical. Yeah, it's very pleasing sounds. There's nothing that's really not pleasing. The only thing is that the monster sounds are sometimes scary, off-putting. But that's it. Everything is pleasant. And I've been wanting to work on this project, so I decided I would just decide, okay, Wednesday is the day where I will work on this. Tell me if the microphone sounds good. It's next to me instead of in front of me. I'm hoping it will pick up less sound from the computer that way. Okay, good. This is a podcasting microphone that I bought 5 years ago when I started my podcast. Okay, good. I know it will pick up the clicking when I'm talking. The thing that bothers me is when I hear clicking the whole time. If I can find a mouse that doesn't click, that'd be great, right? Oh, what's going on, Michelle? Mish. Pro streamer, that's what I am, totally. Oh, you remind me. I should do a taco cooking stream. Especially since Lucas here is in Brazil and they don't have tacos, apparently. Just kidding. Just kidding. Lucas, you have Taco Bell and that's about it, right? Nothing else with tacos? Do you have Mexican restaurants? That's awesome. Yay! There's no Taco Bell in Rio. So I was talking to someone closer to Sao Paulo, and he said, yeah, we have tacos, we have Taco Bell. And I'm just like, no, that's not tacos. If you've had tacos at a Mexican restaurant, you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Yes. First off, those are crunchy tacos, and traditionally tacos are soft. Corn tortillas, flour tortillas, that sort of thing. They're authentic, as Mish says. And also, yeah, they're Americanized. It's just meat and cheese and lettuce, and that's not an authentic taco. There are even hipster places here in Texas, at least, like in Fort Worth and Austin, that have all kinds of things on the tacos, not just meat and cheese and whatever, like different sauces, different kinds of meat. But a traditional taco at like a Tex-Mex restaurant would be lettuce, tomato, cheese, beef, maybe even salsa. I would really love for you guys to try some, oh, cream cheese isn't bad. To try some Tex-Mex sometime. Come to Texas and try some Tex-Mex. It is a unique form of Americanized Mexican food, since Texas is probably more than half of Texas is Mexican, what we call Hispanic population. And there are, I can't even count how many Tex-Mex restaurants there are just where I live. Texas misses you, Mish. You've been gone too long. The funny thing is, I can hear the Midwest in your accent when you stream. Are what expensive? The restaurants? Not really. Depends on which one. The ones I go to all the time are really cheap. Like $6 or $7 USD for Florida, gross. For like 3 tacos, or for 2 enchiladas and tamale. If you're Florida born and raised, why do I hear Midwest in your accent? Am I just stupid and crazy? So fast. Bleh. Well, where do you live now? Are you in Florida now? You don't have to answer, especially if the FBI is investigating you. Orlando, okay. So you just had a brief stint in Texas and went, never mind. Not enough crazy here. Not enough old people. FBI. Kill JFK. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know. When you said you missed Texas, I thought you were implying you lived here at some point. Okay. I don't want to fix this area, but it's bothering me, so I guess I do want to fix it. South Florida, born and raised. SoFlo. Is that a thing? Do you ever say SoFlo? Like SoCal? There's a place, you say SoFlo? That's awesome. There's a place in Fort Worth area. I'm sure neither of you know where Fort Worth is. So Dallas has another large city next to it, and a whole bunch of other cities in that area, and it's the size of the state of Connecticut, all sold. It's called the Metroplex, or DFW, and there's a place in the Fort Worth area that has SoCal tacos, and I went there one time, and it was pretty okay. The problem was, one time I went and they were out of beef, and I was really upset. But it was pretty good. It was near someone's house that I was going to visit, my Magic Judge mentor. And speaking of Lucas, how is the magic thing going? I doubt there's anything you can judge, but how was it going before all of the quarantine and your president saying, I don't care? So all I remember is I endorsed you to be a magic judge from all the way over here in Texas, and then got called out in one of your judge conferences. That's all I remember. I'm curious if you have had a good experience since then with judging before all the lockdown. Okay, I gotta get rid of this. Oh, let's get rid of this hill first. That's good. Did you have a good time? Did you do well? If I recall, you have a pretty good knowledge of the jar. It's the... Yeah? That's good. That's a start. It's very important. If I recall, one of the issues that I was being called out for was not knowing if you had soft skills. Messed up one call. Whatever. We all mess up calls. At some point, if you stay a judge, you will mess up a call that will cost someone a game or even a tournament, and the world will keep spinning. You'll be fine. It'll be okay. I've made some mess ups. I've cost people games because of my mistake. I'm not proud of it, but it happens because we're human. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. My worst mess ups were situations where the player should have known better anyway. Like, that's not how that card works. We're getting motivational over here while I'm speed building or terraforming. Speed Fast, gotta go fast. Woo! Okay. Calm down. Yes, so when I started training to become a judge, I spent half of a year, about 6 months or so, training at my local store. Oh, you got tryhards in your store. And I was training with someone else in my store who wanted to become a judge, and we were studying together, and he was the manager of the store. So he was the tournament organizer, the TO, and I was the judge for all the tournaments. And then any tournaments I didn't come to, he would then be the judge. And the first thing we had to do was get the players used to calling judges and having judge calls and judges making rulings and all of that. So following the rules, mistriggers, like we would try before that to follow the rules, and we would just ask a question of whoever the most knowledgeable Magic player was at the time. Like, okay, today, if you have any questions, ask Wes. That sort of thing. But we had to get them used to, if you've got any questions, you need to raise your hand and call judge. And we would start each tournament by doing the announcements with the tournament organizer, which was Brandon, and the head judge, which was me, and they got used to it. So it was overall positive. So they didn't hate or resent. The difficulty was just as a judge, learning how to take the call and answer the question correctly. Customer service, make sure the players are happy, and don't accidentally give outside assistance. That's a no-no. So I think we are done with the terraforming. Man, this has been over a month, I think, of every Wednesday working on this, and here we are. This is so pretty. Let's fix this right here. I don't like it. Regular. I didn't know much about competitive rules enforcement until I was studying for my level 2. And the first thing I did was I drove to Oklahoma from Texas, from the middle of Texas to the middle of Oklahoma. That was a drive. That was really far. And I shadowed, well, it was to shadow someone who was head judging a PPTQ. And what ended up happening was they had so many players, I was needed to help judge the tournament. So I got to judge as a second floor judge, so there were 3 judges. And I knew some basics of Comp REL, but I was not great. And I made some mistakes, but not a whole lot of them. And I talked to the head judge the whole time. We would talk about a call I could have done better. At one point, I made some players angry by stepping in and issuing an infraction, issuing a penalty for a situation where I wasn't needed because they'd already resolved the issue. And it was a huge learning experience. That player then went on to spend the rest of the tournament trash talking me, which was fun. Okay, now we're gonna make our camp. And then from there, and I've been a judge for about 4 months. And I had judged an open, Star City Games Open, at regular REL, doing little tournaments. Yes, this is Minecraft music. Let me know if it's too loud. It is very lo-fi. It's pretty awesome. We're gonna put the foreman's camp like right here. Okay, great, awesome. So there's a Discord that I was in that was for people wanting to learn all the material that they need for level 2. And that's where I learned about the infractions and the penalties and all of that. It was pretty cool. And then I judged some more PPTQs. and I did a Grand Prix in Las Vegas that was regular REL for me. I did a VR Star Wars thing with a friend. That was fun. And then I did another PPTQ or two. And then I kept studying. From there, I took my level 2 exam and passed it. So it was a really weird experience, Wool, because you wouldn't expect that you could just judge PPTQs and do regular REL at your store and at large tournaments, and then you're an L2. That's just the way it happened, because like Brazil and in other countries, rural areas of the US, like places that aren't large cities, have a hard time finding gigs, finding places to judge. And that's just the way it was. I had to get most of my experience at local stores doing Pro Tour qualifiers. And then the experience I got large events was at regular REL. So no infraction penalty fix there. Just figure out the problem, fix it. Okay, that looks good. I don't know if I like this or not. What if I do this? So from when I got level 2, that's when I actually started to get experience at large events with competitive REL, which is not what you would expect. You would expect that you have achieved level 2 because you've been working large events. But at the time, there was also this idea that level 2 meant that you could head judge a PPTQ by yourself. Not so much that the only purpose of it was to be a floor judge at a large event. So that's where I got all my training, was floor judging at smaller tournaments. So from there, I started doing large events, more and more and more and more. I put on my applications. I put out applications at larger events and got accepted more often. And my applications would say, I need experience at competitive rules enforcement level, and I would get the job. It was pretty neat. And from there, that's when I discovered I actually prefer large events at competitive rules enforcement. So that's what I did for a year and a half or so after getting L2, until this past January. I did something in Austin, and then nothing, and then the lockdown. So we'll see how things go from now. I don't know what next year's going to look like. So this is the foreman's little place where he's going to work from. L3. I don't even know if I'm going to say a judge, honestly. I don't know if Paper Magic is on its way out or what, but at the moment, I would be happy just to be able to work events again. But if Paper Magic comes back and I get back into judging and I'm enjoying it, I am open to the idea of trying for L3. If for nothing else, it's difficult and makes you learn more, which is one of the reasons I went for L2 in the first place, because I wanted to learn, and it was difficult, and I wanted to do it. And I've known judges who have struggled with achieving it, and I wanted the challenge. I wanted to see if I could do it. What are we gonna do here? Let's do this. Do that. It was difficult. L2 was difficult. There's a lot of studying, a lot of you've got to understand the documents and know not just the rules, like most of the rules, pretty comprehensive, but you also have to know competitive REL pretty much forwards and backwards. Which is an idiom, it just means all of it. So this is a start. This is the concept of the foreman. What if I do this? What if I raise the roof? Raise the roof. What? I want to hear the story. I want to hear about this rear ending. Like what? Okay, how's this look? Ooh, I like it. I like it. Pretty neat. What we should do is, oh, we need a sawmill. Yeah, we gotta put it like right here. Let's see if I can do this from memory based off of Skyrim. They've got some sawmills there. Yeah, we'll do that. Actually needs to be over here. Yes. Yes, I like it. Yes. Now, main traffic stop lady hit me. No, this one's not. Hey, yeah, that's fair. It's your mom's car, so definitely gotta report that. That's crazy. I don't always feel particularly safe around small town Texas drivers. Like, I felt safest during the quarantine. If I wanted to go to the store or whatever, or go to my office to work on the computer, that's when I felt the safest, was during March and April. Hey, Bombastniks. Do you have some chips? Chips, was it chips? You send me the picture of? Anyway, I felt safest, at least where I live, during the quarantine when I was driving, because there was not as many dangerous drivers. Birch planks. I am failing so hard. I wonder how the wood feels when you make a sawmill out of wood and then logs are going down the sawmill getting chopped in half. I wonder how they feel about that. Okay. Let's see. Okay. How do I make it look like there's a saw? I haven't thought that far ahead. Maybe like a trap door on its side? Or iron bars? Would iron bars look like a saw? It does look like a saw. My jaw popped. Yeah. Cannibalism with extra steps. You're right. I don't know. It's just... Do you think the wood is okay with being used to kill other wood? Or is it more like, I got mine. Sucks to be you. Like, do you think that they're going to protest systemic brutality of wood as long as it's not them? I'm gonna try to make this look a little bit like the Skyrim mills. Ah! What time is it? Almost 3. Okay. Hmm. I don't know if I... Hmm. If we do like that, and over here, and a few over here. Yeah, something like that. Yes, okay. Then one more here. Yeah, something like that. Maybe even have like a log that's down here. Something like that. Have a few logs that are kind of floating in the river. Yeah, I like it. This resembles a sawmill, doesn't it? I think it does. Come on, come on. Here we go. Yeah. Cobble. That. Let's see. Something like this. Two slabs. Cobblestone slab. It's about time there's some music. What if I do like this? Something like that. I kind of like that. Now for the torches. I can get behind this. I like it. Light there at least. We'll just like place one torch right in the middle. We good, right? Now we got the sawmill. Let's plant some trees. Let's go green. The part we've all been waiting for. It's riveting. How exciting. Oh. That's drastic. Hmm. For anyone who joined us recently, this has been a terraforming project for over a month now. You just build an area where the lumberyard can get wood for the city that's nearby. You can see the walls over there. So I'm finally, what you're seeing right now is a culmination of all the hard work. The forest. No. Tell me more. Ah, trees. Trees have grown. Okay, well that's a start. Give that time. I'll come back to it. Almost time to switch over to Magic Arena anyway. Okay, plane crash, landed on island, mutant taken over. Oh, okay. Build a shelter, set traps, try to... Interesting. Is it a 2D, 3D game? Kind of sounds like it could be like a 2D mobile game or something.